much did you know about James Brown and James Brown's life before you took on the role?
I mean, I knew, I think I probably knew the songs that most people know. You know, I knew that he was sampled a lot by hip hop artists, and you know, I knew the headlines to a certain degree. And I, you know, I probably looked up the headlines even more when the idea of doing the project came up, and looked at the headlines and said, nope, not touching that, you know, with a 10-foot pole. But I just knew basics. I didn't know anything about his childhood or upbringing or anything like that.
How did you first get involved with the project growing up?
I was actually having a meeting at Imagine Entertainment for something completely unrelated, and I heard people talking about that they had just gotten the script in, and I asked if I could read it. It came from a place of being a Southerner and James Brown being a Southerner and me being a little protective, wanting to see what they were up to. And I read it on a plane ride after that meeting. I asked if I could, and then I landed in New York from Los Angeles, and I called them and I said, I want to direct this. And that's how it started. The whole thing took about 2 days.
Were you a James Brown fan already before you took on the project?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, musically, he's been in my life since I could first remember.
It's quite an honest depiction of him. It does show kind of negative aspects of the character. Why did you kind of feel that was important to include in the story?
Well, it's not only important, it's my responsibility. The trick was to decide how much to show. You know, early on, I mean, it's titillating in many ways to show the danger and the sexuality and the violence of a character. But I realized early on that that's usually the lead adjectives that someone has of James. And the truth be told, that's not the largest part of his life. So I then realized I had the responsibility to share with audiences what they didn't know and might find surprising. So then I was able to decide the balance, leading with that.
What exactly do you call your style of music?
Well, I call it James Brown music, because it's so far ahead of its time. They ain't got a name for it yet. Take another record. Any record you got on your box at home. It ain't gonna sound like mine. Not even my own old record sound like this new bag. It's like the title say, Papa's got a brand new bag.
Well, so what was he like to play as a character, and what was the most kind of difficult aspect to get right?
You know, I don't know if you're ever gonna find a character that's more fun to play. I mean, like, it's like everything at once. It's like in certain moments you feel like a superhero while you're on stage. You know, obviously you feel like a rock star while you're on stage. It's you know, you get to be a womanizer and a family man. You get to be like, you know, you get to be like a villain. You know, it's pretty much everything that you could imagine in the role. So, you know, as an actor, it's you just, once you get into it, you're just enjoying every part of it. You're licking your fingers and just figuring out who he is, because he's like, he's one way as a persona. There's James Brown, the man, and there's James Brown, the persona, and you know, all of those elements go into the persona, but beneath that, like, who is he? And certain moments you're doing one, and the next moment you certain moments you're doing the persona, and the next moment you're doing the person, you know, and just figuring out what that is and how he's manipulating it is part of the difficult part.
What to say to you, Pop? A street kid from Augusta, Georgia, headed to the White House right now.
Says you're kissing up to the man, James.
So you telling me the turn is playing around, stand up for president?
No, I'm saying you're screwed already, man. I mean, think about it. You stand up Lyndon Johnson and go kiss up to the Panthers, you ain't gonna be playing in Vegas anytime soon. Because if they know you can stop a riot, they'll sure as hell expect you to start one.
You've also got Dan Aykroyd in there playing his manager, Ben Barnes. How did he get involved in the project?
I was a big fan of the Blues Brothers movie. It was one of the most influential movies in my life, and eventually led me to becoming a director. And James Brown was in that film. And so when I was deciding who would be Ben Bard, I just thought it would be a wonderful full circle moment to see if Dan would come play with us in Mississippi, and he did, and he was just fantastic. And Dan's a musician as well, so it worked out.
Mr. Dynamite! Man's a genius. James Brown! Good God!